Make money while you sleep. It's one of the most powerful financial phrases of the modern era. Passive income. Two words that promise freedom from alarms, bosses, meetings, and performance reviews. But here's the uncomfortable question. If passive income is so accessible, why are most high-income professionals still trading time for money? Why are lawyers, engineers, consultants, and executives, people with access to capital, not quietly living off automated income streams? Because what's sold as passive is often leveraged effort, hidden risk, or delayed labor. And tonight, we're separating the fantasy from the financial mechanics. Because in premium economies, the most expensive mistake isn't working hard. It's believing you don't have to. Meet Jason, 35, senior software architect, intelligent, analytical, high earner. He's tired, not broke, not struggling, just exhausted by the idea that his income depends entirely on his continued performance. So he turns to YouTube. Top 7 passive income ideas. Earn $10,000 per month automatically. Financial freedom blueprint. He chooses real estate rentals. It feels tangible, proven, safe. He buys a property with 20% down. Mortgage leveraged. Optimistic projections based on rental demand. Month 1 goes smoothly. Month 3, the tenant calls. Plumbing issue. Month 5, vacancy gap. Month 7, unexpected property tax adjustment. Month 9, major repair. The property still produces cash flow, technically. But Jason is now managing contractors, screening tenants, reviewing legal agreements, handling accounting. He didn't escape work, he changed its format. And here's the silent truth. Most passive income is front-loaded with effort and back-loaded with maintenance. It's not income without work. It's income after structured work. And the risk never disappears. Let's define terms properly. There are only 3 true forms of passive income. Ownership of productive assets, capital allocation with minimal management royalties from scalable intellectual property. Everything else falls somewhere between active and semi-passive. Dividends require capital. Rental income requires oversight and risk tolerance. Online businesses require systems and continuous optimization. Digital products require marketing ecosystems. The influencer version removes the friction. The real version includes it. And here's what rarely gets discussed. Passive income without significant capital usually requires significant risk. Low capital plus low risk plus high returns is a mathematical fantasy. In premium economies where markets are competitive and regulations are strict, excess returns are difficult to sustain without skill or leverage. Jason eventually realizes something important. He didn't want passive income. He wanted psychological relief, relief from dependency. And that distinction changes everything. Passive income sells autonomy, but autonomy doesn't come from automation alone. It comes from resilience. Many high earners pursue passive income not to maximize return, but to reduce anxiety about job loss. The desire is emotional. The strategy must be structural. Another fictional example, Emma builds a digital course about marketing strategy. Sales start slow, then grow. But she spends nights optimizing funnels, adjusting ads, handling customer emails. Technically, revenue flows without her physically delivering each product. But mentally, she's more engaged than ever, because scale increases complexity. The myth of passive income is seductive because it compresses time in the story. What you don't see are the years of trial, error, reinvestment, and system design. The wealthy don't chase passive income first. They build active income large enough to fund intelligent ownership. That's the sequence rarely advertised. Now meet Daniel, 42, investment analyst. He doesn't chase trends, he allocates. He spends a decade building capital aggressively, living below income, investing in diversified index funds, private equity exposure, and selective real estate partnerships, not direct management. He doesn't post about freedom, he engineers it quietly. By the time he transitions out of full-time work, his portfolio generates enough structured income to sustain lifestyle, conservatively. No hype, no urgent marketing funnels, no escape the 9-to-5 slogans, just ownership. And ownership behaves differently than hustle. If you're in a premium economy, here's the realistic framework. First, stabilize active income. Without strong cash flow, passive systems collapse under stress. Second, build liquidity before leverage. Emergency reserves reduce forced decisions. Third, prioritize scalable ownership over trendy shortcuts. Index exposure, equity participation. Business partnerships, intellectual property. Fourth, Measure risk-adjusted return, not social media aesthetics. If a strategy looks glamorous but increases fragility, it's not freedom. Finally, redefine passive. True financial independence isn't about doing nothing. It's about choosing what you work on without survival pressure. That's a different goal entirely. The most dangerous financial illusion isn't debt. It's the promise of effort-free wealth. Because once you believe income should require no effort, you become vulnerable to anyone selling that shortcut. Passive income is real, but it's rarely immediate, rarely simple, rarely risk-free, and almost never glamorous in its construction phase. The wealthy don't escape work. They graduate from labor to ownership, and ownership requires patience. So the next time you hear, "Make money while you sleep," ask a better question. What had to be built first? Because someone is always earning while someone else is dreaming. Make sure you're building the system, not just consuming the slogan.